This is an anniversary moment. That is where I would like to highlight people in the ministry, starting with two people that I love very dearly. The first one being our daughter, Anitra, and secondly, my brother, my wife's brother, Elder Samuel, both which have been major contributors to the ministry. This is an anniversary moment, and you'll get to hear from more people or about more people in our next anniversary moment.
I am Anitra Scott. I am the daughter of Apostle Benny and Pastor Dolores Fluellen. I have been here at Overflow Ministries all of my life. Actually, it's crazy to think about it that when Overflow started, I was 10 years old. I am 40 years old now. It'll be 30 years. That sounds so crazy. But yeah, I was 10, almost 11 years old when we started Overflow. So it's crazy that it's been 30 years. It actually doesn't seem like it's been that long.
Anitra was 10 years old when we started the ministry in 1996. And I had to think about it for a moment because she has always been such a tremendous asset. She's an unusual PK, if you will, because she does not have any sense of entitlement. She's just has always been a real asset to the ministry from day one.
Being a PK is a lot. Some years ago, my dad actually and we talked about doing a conference about it, because you have that stereotype of PKs, right? Where, you have the PKs who like, oh yeah, they put them on this pedestal and they think they're all high and mighty and da-da-da, and they're doing all this stuff on the side. That ain't me, okay? I am who I am, and there's no hiding it. But I feel like in that, whether you are actively working in ministry or you're not, how you're living your life, whether it's unto God or not, I do feel like it's still a struggle. Because as PKs, you have to share your life. Not just your parents, you have to share your life if they are true pastors at heart, I would say. Because you have some who are literally don't touch me, don't talk to me, don't speak to me type pastors who just walk in when praise and worship is over. They go to the pulpit, they say their message, and they're out the door. But if you have parents like mine, pastors like ours, they're touchable, they're reachable. And there are times that I remember, even in the younger stages of, in the early years of Overflow, where we'd be in the middle of playing games and my parents would get a call and they would have to leave, So being younger, it was hard to understand all of that. But as I got older, it became easier, and I understood the call that my parents had on their life and the grace that was required for it. So I have been a PK all my life. Even there, it's so crazy because my dad did all the things at Christ Emmanuel, and I was answering telephones on like a 30-something switch line at Christ Emmanuel at like 7 and 8 years old.
At 7 or 8 years old, I had her answering and directing the calls of a 32 staff member switchboard. I know I'm telling my age when I say switchboard, but a phone system, if you will. But she's always been a tremendous asset. Anitra not only helped us to start the ministry while she was a kid, she still offered a whole lot. She never was a problem. That was probably the greatest asset, that we did not have to feel like we were taking anything away from her to start the ministry.
My name is Samuel Tabo. I'm an elder here at Overflow Ministries Covenant Church. Pastor Dolores is my sister. So I've known her my whole life.
What can I say about Elder Samuel Tabo? For many people who may or may not know, or for some people who may or may not know, Elder Samuel is my wife's only sibling. He is her older brother.
How did they meet? I'm not really sure how they met. I'm sure it was at church somewhere or something, but I met him when she brought him home to introduce him to our family, to my mom and dad. I'm like, who is this guy? who is this guy? You know, he was just as flamboyant then as he is now. So I didn't know what to think, you know. I know she was serious about it. And so I had to trust her, you know, because I didn't know him. We probably did not enter real relationship, until we got to ministry together. I used to travel with Apostle. I used to drive him all the time. So I used to travel with him a whole lot. And that's how we grew. I had a heart for ministry, and I wanted to be a part. So I inserted myself in his life pretty much that way. I knew that he was a preacher and a preacher of the word, I'll say. And so I just wanted to be around him to learn, to see what ministry was really all about, because I didn't know what quote unquote ministry was or how it was supposed to go.
And when I think about his contribution to the ministry would not be what it is today were it not for Elder Samuel. For a period of time in my itinerant ministry, Elder Samuel traveled with me on the road. And when we started the church, he did not have to come simply because he was my brother-in-law or my brother.
Apostle called me in and told me his vision. And he explained his vision. And I said, well, that's good. Sounds good. Sounds like a great deal. And I didn't know what he was telling me for, you know, because I'm thinking, well, he's just gonna be gone, and I'll be left at Christ Emmanuel. Well, come to find out, he assumed that when I said that's a good vision, that I was going with him. So so I found out when everybody else found out.
When leaving Christ Emmanuel, I would say that it was all I knew. Everybody was family. Everybody, you know, I had a lot of friends there. I was in dance ministry there. I was in sign language ministry there. I did a lot. I was, you know, involved. And I think initially it probably was a little hard, and it was a huge change because you go from this big church who has several services to this small little group of, you know, 30 people and us being in this small space. But I think, I don't think it was extremely difficult from what I can remember. But all of my friends who were there, they were my friends inside and outside of church. So it wasn't too bad.
You know, Anitra not only helped us to start the ministry while she was a kid, she still offered a whole lot. She never was a problem. That was probably the greatest asset, that we did not have to feel like we were taking anything away from her to start the ministry. Anitra worked as a student teacher, if you will, in the school, in ID Academy that I started, that we had for a number of years, until as the school progressed, we eventually got to the point and to the place where Anitra was in charge of the operations for the entire school. So she ran the whole school. So she's more than just a pastor's kid. She is probably one of the most intelligent persons that I know. And I'm not just saying that because she's my daughter. She's probably one of the most hardworking persons that I know.
The last thing I'll say about the whole PK thing is a lot of people struggle because they feel like their parents are choosing everybody else over them. I didn't feel that way. I do feel like, now, if you're going to pull on my parents, you better appreciate it. Your tail better stay. I'm joking, but I'm not joking. Seriously, because they do so much and they sacrifice so much. And being a PK, I have seen so many cycles of people coming and going. And not that people can't come and go, because you grow and we want you to mature and move on and do whatever it is that God has called you to do. But it's hard to see the people hurt my parents. Like, that's a big thing. Like, everybody's all like focused on church hurt, which I don't believe in, is people hurt, but nobody talks really too much about what the pastors go through and what the pastors' children go through, seeing those cycles of people come and go, and here saying, oh, I'm here, I'm always gonna be here, and then boom, gone. So it's definitely a constant daily check of your heart and your spirit, and asking the Holy Spirit to guide you through literally every day, sometimes every moment, to keep your heart in that position where it's open and it doesn't close people out because of the things that you experience as a PK.
The role that I played when everything got started, Apostle wanted to do a big slide presentation. So, and I've been a techie my whole life. I've been around technology and sound and videos and computers. And so I put together the slide presentation. I couldn't tell you what was in it right now because that was 30 years ago. But I put together the slide presentation for the launching of Overflow. As things progressed, I took on the responsibility of doing sound, even though it wasn't sound as we know it now. It was a boom box for the worship team. You hit play and then you hit rewind, and we had worship.
So a lot of times in ministries, and I guess it depends on the structure of the church, because some you have to be, elected in and voted in. But I feel like with Overflow, a lot of times people have that expectation of, because you're the child, you're just going to automatically inherit it. And I know that is not my dad's belief, and it's not necessarily my belief. I feel like if you're called to it, you're called to it. And if you're not, you're not. Like, it doesn't matter. It's not a progressional thing. Like, okay, you're this and now you're this.
When you look at scripture, it's not uncommon for God to use family members in the fulfillment of an assignment. Noah had his children and his wife. Moses had his brother and his sister, Aaron and Miriam. Abraham had Lot, his nephew Lot. So the list can go on and on. But Elder Samuel has been a tremendous blessing to the ministry. Once again, he has been a major prayer warrior for the ministry. I've been praying and praying and praying. My whole life just was about prayer. And I didn't really know what I was doing, but I knew that I needed to pray. I wanted to pray. So prayer became a part of my whole being. I knew when I realized that I wasn't an intercessor, I knew that the church needed prayer, duh, So I wanted to be instrumental. I wanted to see God's hand move. Still brings me to tears. But I wanted to see God's hand move on Overflow Ministries Covenant Church. I wanted to see the church thrive and see lives saved and changed and people delivered and set free and healed. And so I just had that burden. I said I want to go cry, but that's out the window. So there's been a lot of instances where we have just prayed people through. We've seen people heal from all kind of diseases and mannerisms and depression and set free. We've seen marriages restored. We prayed and prayed and prayed about a lot of situations and people, I don't want to start calling names, but people,
people just being healed.
Elder Samuel was one of the very first paid employees on staff when we were on Boy Mail, where he was the other person in the office with me.
I currently serve as the Director of Administration and Operations here at Overflow Ministries, which entails a lot. As I think about it, a lot of the things that I acquired as far as knowledge is based on experience and what they've taught me, what they've shown me through their example. So because of all the things that my dad can do, which I feel like he does pretty much everything, is some things he can't do now. But I think having him as an example has prepared me to do what I do now. And it was a huge, huge part. And I don't regret it whatsoever.
I call her Superwoman because she does everything. And in terms of ministry, she has been in charge of the operations of the ministry for a number of years. I just don't know what I would do or what I would have done over these last 30 years without her intentional and very helpful input and assistance. So I just want to say thank you, Anitra, for everything that you've done over the last 30 years for Overflow Ministries. We would not be who we are today were it not for your sacrifice and for all of your generous time, efforts, and energies. Thank you so much, sweetie. Love you. I'm grateful for all that you've done, Elder Samuel. You did not have to do what you've done. You've sown a lot. It's been 30 years, and it's been 30 long but short years. And things are changing, and things have changed. But one thing that will never change is what you have contributed to the ministry and how indebted we are to all of your contributions of time, dedication, over the sound ministry, over the media ministry, over the prayer warriors, working with the altar ministry, working as an elder in the church. You've just done a myriad of things, and I'm so grateful. You've just done a myriad of things, and I'm so grateful for all that you have contributed. And once again, we would not be who we are today were it not for your faithfulness in being a part of this ministry. And I know you probably are getting a little tired now, but you have not shown it in your faithfulness. And I want to say thank you so very much. And on behalf of Overflow Ministries, thank you for 30 faithful years.
Where do you see Overflow Ministries in years to come?
Ooh, that's a loaded question. When I think about Overflow in years to come, I think it's more so like a prayer. My prayer is that we are able to capture the next generation, like generations to come, because without them, we can't grow without the next generations. Like, we need the little people. We need the kids who are my age. I'm in my 40s now. Like, it's too late. We need to capture the people in their 20s and younger so that Overflow can continue to thrive and be who we have been called to be, so that we fulfill everything that God has called us to be and do.
I believe we can restore men, fathers to the forefront. I think it's going to take some prayer and fasting. There's nothing that you can just think about and do. I think it's going to take some prayer. It's going to take some purposeful thinking and some strategies to get it to happen. But I guess I've already said I would love to see Overflow just be a pillar in the community. When you say Overflow Ministries in the city of Cincinnati, that you would have a great thought. What a great people, what a great church, what a great congregation, what a people who loves God and if they can help you, if they can pray for you, if they can do anything for you, that they would do it without question. And so I would just hope that and pray that our reputation would be as pure as gold, refined in the fire.